Right, so having got the timecode generator set up, you can see that it's still running with its clock, and it will continue to run for 30 odd hours with that clock unless I do something. That is also locked, so I can turn it on, but I haven't unlocked it, so nothing is going to change on that because none of the button presses are being recognised because the system's locked. This is my Sony A9 III, but it could be an A7S III or an FX camera. They all function pretty much the same. So if I turn this on, I've actually got this set up, the camera already set up to display the time code for me on the screen. So you can see that it's already showing me a time code. But that time code is from the internal time code of this camera, and it might drift over time, which obviously I don't want. And I don't want to faff around and keep on trying to update it and reset the time. So this is where these timecode generators come in. If I plug that into the correct port in here on the side of the A9 III, the camera is now having its time code overwritten by this one. You can see there 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So whatever that was set at, it's now getting its time code from here. This is overridden the camera's time code. Taking the adapter that I showed you earlier, which is a hot shoe, cold shoe adapter, I can slide that in and then screw it down onto the cold shoe, and it's got velcro on the top, and that will just sit there comfortably, totally secure. It's not going to come off, and it's pretty much out of the way. It's not a problem. That is all I have to do for the Sony. Let's look at a different camera. So here we have the DJI Pocket 3. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to pull in the Deity TC1 with the USB-C cable, and it doesn't help. I'm going to swipe down the menu system, go to the nut and scroll towards the bottom, and there will be an option here that says timecode. If I click on that, it's going to say connect the USB adapter to the USB-C port and sync timecodes. So all I have to do is go on the back of the Pocket 3, plug the USB cable in, and sync successfully, remove the third-party unit. We've exceeded the gimbal, and you can see here that straight away I've got the timecode pumping into it. I can now unplug this, and this is now using the internal timecode that has been synced because I connected this TC1 in up to it. In theory, I could have one TC1 and I could sync this in first, change the cable, and then use this unit on the Sony. The reason why I don't leave this TC1 connected to the Pocket 3 is because on the Sony, the TC1 is constantly overriding the Sony's timecode clock, whereas on the Pocket 3, unfortunately, they don't do that. You update the timecode generator in the Pocket 3 to whatever's in the TC1, and it's a set once, and then it runs with it for a period. The issue becomes the timecode clock in the Pocket 3 is not super accurate, and over time it will drift, but we're only talking about a frame or two over maybe 2 or 3 hours. So for my use, it doesn't really matter too much. If I was particularly worried about it, I would take this TC1, just leave it on in my bag, and maybe shoot for a couple of hours, and then at the appropriate time, scroll down on the menu system, select timecode. It's difficult when the gimbal's playing up. And I would then just reconnect in my TC1, and that would automatically update. There you go, it's updated the timecode. So you could just re-update it during the course of your shooting if you're particularly worried about being frame accurate. And like I say, this should be frame accurate for a couple of hours. After that, it will start to drift very, very slightly over time. I'd unplug that, chuck that in my bag, and we're ready to shoot. I can turn that off, drive to my location, turn this back on, and you'll see that the timecode is still there and present. And that's it. So they're really easy to live with and to set up. It takes me probably 2 minutes to set the time code on the master to my iPad's date and time, sync up the second Deity, and then plug them both into the cameras and go to the menu system on the DJI Pocket 3. And pretty much I can ignore them for the rest of the day shooting. That's what I do before I go out. Now let's look at the next step when you come back from a day shooting and you download all your footage onto your computer, and then you're starting to think about putting it into DaVinci Resolve and how you can use the advantage of timecode.